Hi, fight fans, and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're doing well. So, now we've had the weigh in for the biggest fight of the year so far, may even be the biggest fight of many years. Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford both weighed in today. They both weighed in at a fit and ready 167.5 pounds. That's zero point 0.5, just under the limit. That's for both fighters. And I've got to say, I've seen the weigh in, and both fighters look in tremendous shape. No excess fat or flesh on either of them. They look cut to shreds, ready to go, and I cannot wait. The anticipation is building, and this is simply going to be a great, great fight, I can tell. The body language between the two is just simmering under the surface. They're both being professional. There was no antics or anything like that. But the fighters, you can see that they're ready to go, man. They're both in tremendous shape. I saw a quote from Canelo Alvarez's camp where they're saying that he's in the best shape physically and mentally that he's ever been in. So that's quite a statement to make. Terence Crawford's camp, they're equally confident. And like I said, this is going to be a sensational fight, I can tell. Pits two fighters, man. One in the top 3 pound for pound. The other one inside most people's top 10 pound for pound has been the number 1 pound for pound fighter for a few years. This was a few years back. But nevertheless, make no mistake, this is going to be a great fight, and I can't wait. Canelo Alvarez, he's the favourite going into this fight. He's, by definition, the heavier man. He's the super middleweight undisputed champion. He's 35 years old now, from Guadalajara, Mexico. 67 fights, 63 wins, 39 by KO, 2 losses, 2 draws. Those 2 losses were to elite opponents, Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol. He also has 2 draws, one to Gennady Golovkin and one to Wargay Yoris. That was way back in 2006. As for Terence Crawford, he's a couple of years older, at 37 years old. 41 fights, 41 wins, no draws, no defeats. Sensational fighter, held titles in 4 different weights: lightweight, light welterweight, and light middleweight. He's a 2-time undisputed champion of the world at 2 different weights. And if he wins this fight, he will become the first fighter in the 4-belt era to win an undisputed belt in 3 different weight categories. As for Canelo, he's also been a champion in 4 different weights. Tremendous champion. This fight has got everything. You've got Crawford coming up in weight. I mean, although he weighed in at 167.5 pounds for this particular fight, he actually started his career as a lightweight. And he's moved through the weight successfully, annexing belts, as I said, in 4 different weight classes. Now, a lot of people in predicting the winner for this fight have obviously mentioned Canelo's size advantage. Although he's not the taller man, in fact, he's a couple of inches smaller than Crawford in terms of height. But in terms of mass, in terms of being at the weight, he's been at super middleweight now for quite a long time. He's the bigger man, supposedly the stronger man, although a lot of people who follow Crawford will tell you that Crawford is a freakishly strong guy. So that remains to be seen, I think, in how that differential works out. But you would assume that Canelo, being at that weight for a large amount of time, is the stronger man. I think he's definitely the heavier puncher. I think we can all say that. I mean, Canelo, he can hit very hard. He's very strong. He's knocked guys out with 1 punch. He's done that a few times in his career. He's even gone up to light heavyweight and knocked out Sergey Kovalev with 1 big left hook. So he can punch. And a lot of people saying that the size and the power advantage that Canelo has will be the decisive factors. Me, listen, I did a video on this previously and I'm had a lot to think about. I've given it a lot of thought. I'm sticking with my guns. I think that Crawford, to me, will be able to overcome those disadvantages in terms of size and power, and maybe even strength. I mean, we all know that Crawford is very strong, deceptively so. He doesn't look the strongest, but he is said to be very, very strong, freakishly strong, some people say. He comes from a wrestling background. I cannot see Canelo bullying him around the ring. I can see Canelo being on the front foot, though. I can definitely see that. I mean, I see the fight playing out in that way that Canelo will be looking to get on the front foot. He's a front foot fighter. He will come forward with the high guard, looking to edge forward, land a jab, go to the body, come through the middle with the right and uppercuts. Crawford, I expect him to utilize a bit more movement, but I stress I don't think it will be running. I'm pretty sure it won't be. I've never seen Crawford run in a ring, and I don't think that's going to start now. What I expect Crawford to do is to try and use angles, use slick footwork, give Canelo angles, move in and out, try and land combination punches and get out without taking too much damage. But obviously that's easier said than done. Canelo is a very smart fighter. He does know how to cut off the ring. He did have good footwork. I've not seen that footwork in evidence from recent fights, but by all accounts, he's looked really good in sparring. He's looked really good in training. So obviously, I think that you will see a different version of Canelo in this fight. In fact, he has to, because if he is the Canelo that we've seen in his last couple of fights against William Skull and people like that, John Ryder, one or two others, even though he won those fights, he wasn't particularly impressive. I think that Canelo is going to need to produce a sensational performance to get the job done. And I wouldn't totally back against him. I mean, he's a great fighter. That cannot be disputed by any shape or form. He is a great fighter. But I just think that Crawford, man, I just think that, I've said it before, man, Buddy's built different. And he's been relishing this opportunity. He took some time out to build his body up to the weight. He's been training like a demon for this fight, apparently. He too has looked sensational, apparently, in sparring. He's been putting guys out, stopping guys in sparring, looking really good, looking really sharp. He seems at the top of his game when he's interviewed. He exudes confidence. He exudes all the things that you would assume that he needs to win a fight of this magnitude. And I have total confidence in him. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. I think there will be ebb and flow. How would it not be? I mean, a guy like Canelo, you're not going to railroad him. There will be ebb and flow. I could see Canelo hurting Crawford on a couple of occasions. But I just think that Crawford, as well as the skill level, which I think he has in abundance, and I think he has more boxing skill than Canelo. I think he has better footwork than Canelo. I think he will have the slightly faster hands, although Canelo is not exactly a slouch in that department either. But I think Crawford will have the edge in foot speed, hand speed, ring IQ, definitely footwork. And I just think his combination punching, I think he will be able to catch Canelo, and I think he'll be able to win rounds, pile up the rounds, and I see Crawford outpointing Canelo over 12 rounds. I've got it like 8-4, something like that. But like I said, I'm not expecting, even though I've got quite a big disparity in rounds, it's not like I'm expecting him to whitewash Canelo and make an easy fight of it. Some people out there are saying that. I've seen some of the comments from people, professional fighters like Shakur Stevenson and one or two others, who are saying that, look, man, Crawford's skill level is on another level. And when you add to that his elite ring mentality, they're saying it's a done deal. I've seen similar statements, but in the other way, people saying that Canelo is too strong, hits too hard. Crawford may win a few rounds, but once Canelo starts to touch him up around the body and starts to get into rhythm and a groove, he will hurt Crawford and ultimately get him out of there. So it's a fascinating one, man. I mean, you know, you could make cases for either fighter to win. I'm sticking with my original prediction. As soon as this fight was made, I thought, yeah, Crawford is really going to want this. So I'm sticking with my original prediction. I'm going for Crawford to win on points. I do have some reservations, though, about the judging for this fight. We've seen it before with Canelo fights. I mean, this fight is taking place on a Mexican holiday. Canelo will have by far the largest support in the crowd, which is fair play to him. His fans and his people and his countrymen support him, and they support him every time, which is great. He will have a decided advantage in terms of the crowd. And I'm just a little bit concerned that the judges, and like I said, I've seen this before in Canelo fights. I've seen it in big fights as well in Vegas, where the judges can come up with some weird decisions. I hope that is not the case. I hope we're treated to a fair fight, and may the best man win. For me, I think the best man's going to be Crawford. Love to know what you guys think. Who do you think's got it? Do you think Canelo, with the size and the power and the experience, and having been at super middleweight for quite some time, or are you backing Crawford to overcome the perceived disadvantages, put on the performance of his life, show everybody why he is that elite fighter that people like myself proclaim him to be? But yeah, cannot wait, man. Cannot wait. Just one sleep now to Canelo versus Crawford in Las Vegas. Yeah, man. Amazing. Can't wait. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. Really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Please also spread the word. Appreciate it. Catch you on the next one. I'm out.